Hello, Nicolas.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well. Thank you. How
So,
are you doing?
I'm fine. Where are you right now? What city?
I'm in a little room in New York City at the Park Lane Hotel.
Okay, cool. I'm in Long Beach, California. I know you know.
Hey, yeah. Wow. Nice. All right. Why are you in Long Beach? Are you from Long Beach?
No. Actually, I'm an immigrant. I'm Peruvian, but I've been living here for like 20 years. And I know that you were
Great.
here. I don't think you lived here
Yes.
for long, right? You
I
were
li-
here, but then you moved.
I lived in Long Beach from when I was born to 12 years old.
You remember things about Long Beach.
Very much so. Yes.
You remember the Queen Mary. What do you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember the Queen Mary. I remember an amusement park called the Pike, which was at a pier, which I loved. It's not there anymore, but that was a fun place to go. I remember Cal State Long Beach because my father was teaching there. That's why we were in Long Beach. He was a professor at Cal
Right.
State. I went to school. I went to Tincher Elementary School. I wonder if it's still there, that school.
Cool. Yeah, it's not bad here in Long Beach. It's kind of a nice place still.
I think it is a nice place. It's sometimes I think that if I had stayed in Long Beach, everything would have been perfect, but I started moving around a lot. There's something about the way the sunlight hits that area. It's quite relaxing.
Nicolas, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for the interview because I've been watching your movies for a while. I cannot say that I love all of them, but I really like a lot of them. So it's just an honor. And then to start like talking about the movie, The Unbearable, can I just say, I mean, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is kind of difficult to pronounce for me as a Latino. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't say like, how would you like The Unbearable? No, maybe Massive Talent, right? What
Yeah, that has a nice ring to it. I like that. Let's go with Massive Talent.
Because Massive Talent is you, right? You
Oh,
Massive Talent. I mean, I wouldn't say The Unbearable.
okay. Well, I like the title. The whole title is
It's good.
quite clever. But well, anyway, thank you for watching my movies. Listen, I make these movies and they're all my children. I have no regrets about any movies I've made. I've learned something from all of them. And that includes the so-called straight to video work. I mean, everything is straight to video now. So that's kind of a past tense way to look at it. Everything is streaming. But because I have made so many movies, I feel like I was always practicing and I was always getting closer to what I call my instrument. My emotional content, my imagination is at my fingertips because of the amount of work I've done. It simply made me better at my job.
Yeah, in that sense, I would like to say that I completely disagree with the guy in the movie that says, hey, Nick, you should be like playing the characters that you used to play. It's like Hollywood actors. He was rejecting all the recent stuff because you done some really amazing things like recently. I mean, Mandy, Colorado Space. I love this Wonderland. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Prisoners.
Listen, I'll tell you something. Pig, Massive Talent,
well,
Pig,
yes, of course.
Mandy, Colorado Space, Joe, Bad Lieutenant, Mom and Dad, The Trust. I've worked with a lot of great people, and I'll hold those movies. That was some of the best work of my life. I'll hold those movies next to the first 30 years. Absolutely.
Yeah, so when in the movie is just like a fictional. It's not even a fiction. It's just like, it's not you necessarily, even if the guy in the movie has made the movies that you made. I mean, they have the same titles, everything, but it's something different kind of based on your life, but it's just like taking it in a whole different direction. What do you think this movie can like do for you specifically? Because, we've been mentioning Pig and everything. Those movies are kind of like they're not for like, they're not for everyone, let's say that. I mean, they're great, but there's a lot of people that like mainstream movies and they won't even see them, Well, it's an interesting combination, right? It's like an horror movie and also with like action sequences, and it's very funny. It's accessible but smart. So how do you feel with this one?
I feel great. Somewhere along the way, Hollywood seemed to forget that I did a lot of comedies. I came out of Raising Arizona and Honeymoon in Vegas and Moonstruck and It Could Happen to You, but they stopped offering me comedies. So I was excited about returning to comedy, because it was something that I enjoyed doing in the past. And if there is any similarity to so-called Nick Cage in my own life to the one that you see in this movie, massive talent, it's my sense of humor. I like to make jokes at home. I like to goof around and make my wife laugh or make my children laugh. And I was glad to be able to put that on camera again. It had been a while. I'll tell you this, though, I saw the movie with a live audience for the first time at the South by Southwest Film Festival in Texas, in Austin. And boy, the energy in that room was electric. Everybody was having a great time. People were laughing. I was laughing. Pedro was laughing. We were having a wonderful time. And that was a nice feeling. It was nice to get back into the, what I like to call the church of movies, the movie theater. And that was fun.
I'm Nick Friggin! Okay!
Oh wow, the movie is so much fun. It's just hilarious. It's and it's not been released yet, but people that seen it, like the press screenings and everything, people are saying that your acting is wonderful. Are you ready for a second Oscar?
Well, I have no expectations for an Academy Award. I didn't even have an expectation for an Academy Award with the movie I made, Pig, which is probably my best work I've ever done. And it's one of my favorite movies I've ever made. If I had to pick three, it'd be Pig, Leaving Las Vegas, and Bringing Out the Dead. But it's best not to expect those kinds of things. I think I like to make movies for what I call the Super 8 feeling. And by that, I mean the feeling I used to have when I was a boy in Long Beach, in my backyard at 1857 Hackett Ave. My dad bought me a Minolta Super 8 camera and a little editing machine. And I would make movies with my brothers, and we'd go in the back and I would play characters and I would cut animation together and cut it. And that, I only did that not to win awards and not to make money. I did it because I love making movies. And if you have that feeling on the set, you're doing something right.
Let's talk about Latinos, because this is going to be for the Latino section of Los Angeles Times en Español. This is not the first time you're having like a Latino co-star. You have like let me check because I have the list in here. You have many Latino co-stars. You have like Maria Conchita Alonso, like in the vampire movie, in Vampire Kid. Penelope Cruz, man, in Captain Mandolin, Michael Peña in World Trade Center. Eva Mendes twice.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider and Bad Lieutenant for Paul New Orleans.
Yeah.
Now you're having a Chilean actor, Pedro Pascal. And Spaniard, a guy from Spain. So this is interesting. I mean, what is the vibe in there when you work? I don't know, because you can say, I mean, every actor is just kind of different, it doesn't matter where they come from. But with Latino, something different. You notice when you were like working with Pedro, was something that was kind of.
I just saw a great actor. I mean, I saw a great actor in Eva. I saw a great actor in Pedro. I saw a great actor in Maria Conchita Alonso. I don't really look at it in those terms. I look at it as like, what are we going to do with the scene? And everybody, all those names you mentioned, they came in completely prepared with a depth of emotion and ability. In Pedro's case, immaculate timing, just great in terms of comedy, riffing. It was like jazz, Everybody you just mentioned, I had remarkably good experiences with. And you couldn't work with a nicer man. You know, Pedro is one of the nicest people I've ever worked with. So it's always cool when you meet someone who's not only a great actor, but is also a decent human being.
And it seems that you guys have a great time, because one of the most important things in the movies, the chemistry between your characters, it feels so real, and people were like happy during the press screenings I attended. But people were saying like, "Oh," but they were like making fun of it. They were like sincerely feeling like, you know, full of emotions seeing these things. So that was.
But it was real. But it was real, man. I mean, that what you see on camera was very much like what was happening on set. Pedro and I would talk about movies. I mean, he's a cinephile too. He would bring me Spanish films, Spanish horror films. I would subsequently suggest like The Wreck, or I would suggest, I was watching J horror films like The Cure with Yakusho, the Japanese actor, and The Audition. And so we were trading recommendations, and that just spilled over into the performances. I think what you're seeing there is a genuinely, a sincere relationship between two people.
As we say, the movie is not real, like trying to reproduce your life, but was there any moments when it felt like kind of weird for you? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. No, it was totally weird. It was totally, it was the most uncomfortable I've ever been making a movie. It was the strangest experience I have had, playing two versions of myself with my name in a movie. It was a high wire act. It was all I could do to, you know, make the movie that the director wanted and hit the comedic points that he was making, but try to protect some shred of, you know, dignity as a person named Nick Cage. You know, I was being very protective of myself. And so one of the things that was the big, discrepancy between where we were at was there's no version of Nick Cage that doesn't want to spend time with his children. I'm a family man first. Family comes first, is the priority. Yeah. But in this movie, Nick Cage, so-called Nick Cage, has to grow and evolve from a narcissistic, career-minded actor into a family man who's quite sensitive.
All right. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, and then keep on doing these great movies. I mean,
thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Frigga!